Okay, so next is finding the area between two curves. So earlier, we only have one curve or one function bounded by that function in the x-axis. So this time, there are two equations. So again, the first thing that we have to do is to make or sketch the two equations. Y equals negative x squared. This is just the graph of y equals x squared going to the opposite direction. Same vertex, 0, 0, but instead of going up, the graph is going down. Then there's another graph, y equals x squared minus 8. Okay. So x squared minus 8 is also based on the graph of x squared, but this is going down by, so it will be translated 8 units down. So suppose this is negative 8, then the second graph should be from that negative 8 and then going up because it is a positive x squared. Now, if you review the first question, it was mentioned you get the area from negative 3 to 3. This one, it didn't say any value of x. But since we know we just want to find the area bounded by the two graphs, then we have to restrict it from there or on their intersections. Hanggang dun lang. Tama? So we have to find those specific values of x. How are we going to find those specific values of x? Any idea? How will I find those values of x? How do we know? What are these x's? Where are the graphs intersecting? How do we find their intersections? What should we do? How do we find their intersection? Any suggestion? Are we going to guess where they are intersecting? Definitely, that will not help. Okay, review tayo ng konti sa algebra. There are two lines. Hinahanap ang intersection. You want to look for the intersection. What will you do? For example, you have y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. And then the other one is y equals, let's say, 2x plus 1. What are you going to do? Suppose these are the equations of these random graphs. How will you find their intersection? Iba kukunin mo yung intersection. Paano kinukuha ang intersection? Equate sila sa isa't isa. Why are we allowed to equate the two equations? They are on the exact same point. It meaning to say their y values are equal. So these expressions in x, which are our y, should be the same or equal. So you equate them. So going back to our problem, we are getting the intersection of negative x squared and y equals x squared minus 8. It's the same case. We want to find their intersection, so what we will do is, like what you've said, we need to, ano yung sabi nyo kanina? Equate yung dalawa. X squared minus 8 should be equal to negative x squared. And then, all we have to do is to solve this equation. It goes to the other side. X squared plus x squared minus 8 is equal to 0. 2x squared minus 8 is equal to 0. And then you can say the numbers are divisible by 2. So by 2, x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. From here, there are many things that you can do. It's either you factor it or you move the 4 to the other side. That will be up to you. If we do factoring, we have 2 and 2 plus and negative equals 0. Then that means our x will be 2 and negative 2. If you decided to move the 4 to the other side, then 4 is now on the right side. X will be positive or negative square root of 4, and that is positive or negative. Square root of 4 will be 2. And you will get the same values of x. And then we go back to the reason why we did this. We equated the two equations so that we can find the intersection of these two graphs. And we found that x is negative 2 and x is positive 2. Now, we are ready to get the area by using integration. So we integrate from negative 2 to 2. The problem now is what are we going to put within the integration? Okay, there is a formal way of doing this, but to make it simple, whenever you're given two graphs, the name of this graph is f of x, the name of this graph is g of x, the expression that should go inside will be the difference of the higher and the lower graph. Okay, so why is that higher minus the lower, or instead of lower minus the higher? You're getting the area, if you're getting the area bounded by the two graph, the length or the height of the graph is actually the difference between the two functions. Is that right? For example, you have this graph that will intersect at 8, another graph will intersect at 4, and you were asked how long is this gap. Then the gap is 8 minus 4 or 4. We subtract the two values 8 and 4. So it's the same with the function. The area is a composition of so many vertical rectangles in which the height of the rectangle is the difference of the two functions. Okay, so we place f of x minus g of x, and that's how we are going to find the area. Okay, let's go back to our graphs. Ano yung nasa taas? Which one is on top? The x squared minus 8 or the negative x squared? Negative x squared. So you proceed as negative 2 up to 2, and then you start with negative x squared. Then you subtract the 1 below, which is x squared plus 8, and then you have the dx. And then proceed. If you can simplify, then you simplify. This becomes negative x squared minus 8, and then dx. And you have negative 2 up to 2, negative 2x squared minus 8, and then dx. Okay, I'll leave this to you for a while. Find the integral from negative 2 up to 2 of negative 2x squared minus 8. Okay, do it now. So we have, integral of negative 2x squared. Again, when we perform the integration, you should be removing the integral sign. So negative 2x raised to 3 divided by 3 minus 8x evaluated from negative 2 up to 2. So we substitute the larger number first, 2 cubed, or the one on top rather, over 3 minus 8 times 2. This will be your first group. And then minus the second group. This time we use the negative 2. So negative 2 raised to 3 over 3 minus 8 times negative 2. And then we simplify each group. What will you get on the first? Based on your computation. That's that's 8 times negative 2, negative 16 over 3, minus 16, minus, ano to, positive, negative. Positive 16 over 3 plus 16. So we have negative 16 over 3 minus 16, then minus 16 over 3 minus 16. So we have ilan yan? Negative 32 over 3 minus 32. Tama? Minus 16, minus 16. Kulang ba tayo? O, positive naman. So this is equal to over 3, negative 32 minus, what is this? 96. What is 32 and 96 together? 128. Tama? Over 3. Okay? So why is this integral a negative number when we're looking for an area? Supposedly, all areas should be positive. Okay, nasa ibaba kasi siya ng y-axis, ng x-axis. Okay, so when we get this negative 128 over 3, the actual area is 128 over 3. So the negative just sets the location of the region. It's down below the x-axis. But the area, a positive number, is 128 over 3 square units. Can someone please get the decimal value? 128 over 3. 42.57. 67. Yan, tama na? Square units. Okay? So some would say just get the absolute value. That's fine. Saan? Kulang ba siya? 8? Tama na? Okay, see. Okay, any question? So do not end with a negative value. Huh? It should be the positive value. 128 over 3. Yan. Okay?